The party find themselves surrounded by the undead, so they fight their way into the tower, but have no time to catch their breath as more undead appear inside it. With no choice, they battle their way forward, crushing fetid skulls and breaking rotting bones. Despite their brave advance, the undead are relentless in their assault, and soon the party is bloody, despite Ebner's healing magics. Eventually they reach the top of the tower. Exhausted, they decide to rest while Ebner naps to regain some of his spells. It's not a good time, as the party has to listen to Ebner's snore, and the angry dead slowly advance from below. The party have to fend off zombies as they claw at the hastily barricaded door, while Ebner wakes from his blissful sleep and starts to pray for his spells. When the zombies eventually break through, Ebner stops his praying and turns the undead, allowing the rest of the party to escape down a chain to the ground. While the party decides what to do next, the necromancer appears to mock them from the top of the tower. They decide to tactically displace, rest and recover, while planning their strategy for returning to finish off the necromancer. Except for a single wraith that is quickly dispatched, their rest goes undisturbed. They approach the tower under the cover of darkness. They creep into the eerily quiet tower and explore, hoping to catch the necromancer by surprise. It is not long before they run into some undead lurking in the darkness. The skirmish goes well until Ebner discovers a hulking ogre zombie trudging towards them. As the party engages with the large festering creature, the necromancer once more mocks them from above. The party quickly slays the undead and climbs the stairs to confront the necromancer, who instead of attacking them, offers them a deal. Safety for them and their people, power and resources, and a chance at creating a new nation. All they had to do was pledge their service. The party aggressively turns him down, and soon they are once more engaged in a bitter battle. They manage to slay the necromancer, but not before Joker and Vaughn are fatally injured. Sadly, Joker bleeds out, and in a desperate attempt to save Vaughn, they try to feed him a mystery potion, but to no avail. What treasures will they find in the necromancer's lair? Will the two survivors escape the undead? Will Joker and Vaughn rise as zombies? Let's find out now on Desperate Measures.
Hello everybody and welcome back to Desperate Measures, where our cams are not in the right order, because that's the one thing that I forgot to do before we started. Hello everybody. How are you guys doing today?
Fantastic.
Good.
Doing great.
Tom, could you cycle your camera, please?
Sure. Of course.
All right, we're all good. Wonderful, beautiful.
Good. Nice.
How are you guys doing today?
Great.
Doing well, Koibu. How are you?
I'm doing really good. I'd be doing better if there were more entries for the clip contest with cash prizes available in our Discord. You can also find it on the subreddit and type clip contest, exclamation point clip contest into Twitch chat. Do it. Enter.
Join the clip contest right now. Do it.
Do it. Do it. So, as we heard from our lovely Laycap, Laycap is a recap done by Layla and Chris. They're Laycaps now. Half of our party is dead. And you can see some names here, because we already kind of know how this is going to play out a little bit. But, where do we want to start?
I think we wanted to...
The first thing I'd like to point out, though, is how amazing Layla made it sound like. Ebner's just sitting there, taking a nap, and we're just all like, fuck, fighting for our lives, and he's just like casually like
And now I need to pray for my spells.
I did
now I
what's
need to
best for the
catch
party.
Oh,
Mhm.
I agree. It's just the way it made it sound.
I will look to Jeb. Jeb, we got to get out of here. Do you want to go through this place haphazardly and pick up some stuff before we go, or?
And we don't got much of a choice, I think. I mean, this is a town. We shouldn't have too much problem finding some sort of wagon or a cart that we can use to carry stuff, supplies and whatnot.
You mean
feel
their
like-
bodies?
Yeah. I think we should take the body of the necromancer just for some proof.
Yeah.
Well,
You put on that there cloak, quick.
Yeah, I'll equip the magic cloak.
And I
That
wield
was-
the spear.
Yeah.
all right. You grab the spear made of bone. You grab the cloak,
Yeah.
and
So,
one
like-
of you has the extra potion, right?
Jeb does.
Well, during this point, you can look out the window and
It's the
see
yellow potion, right?
Yes, and see that the undead are still milling about. They haven't fallen to the ground dead, re-dead. They are still here. So if you want to get out of here taking any bodies with you, you might be encumbered and have to consider that as a movement option.
It's fine.
I think that these, and I'll point at the magic items, these may be enough proof. They knew exactly what he had.
True.
We just say he used one of his potions. Can I search around for the, you know what I want, Koibu? I want the good stuff in his
The
lair.
good stuff in
I
his
already
lair.
have most of the good stuff, but I'm assuming there's some gold or something cool. Platinum, maybe mithril.
Well, the necromancer will have some cash on him. You can pick up a full bag of gold coins. That's 50 gold right there. You can just add that
Yeah.
bag to your belt.
Got it.
And then there'll be a like a change pouch which will have 20 silver and 15 copper in it.
What about the gems?
Which gems?
Which gems does he have?
He has 0 gems.
Ah, shit.
Yes, unfortunate.
Neal, did you say you had anything else other than gold? I'm sorry.
20 silver.
20 silver,
silver.
15 copper.
Jermutin's attempting a Jedi mind trick there on Koibu. It didn't work.
It was
Not the
good.
gems you're looking for.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm guessing he didn't have any rings or anything on him.
Yeah, he's got a ring on him. He's got one ring with a platinum band with a garnet in the middle of it, embedded into it.
Grab that and I put it in my pocket.
Okay. Add platinum ring with garnet from necromancer on
Thank
the whole
you.
thing, so we know where
Yep,
it comes
I'll
from.
add
and all that
everything.
jazz. Excellent.
Okay. Okay. And then weight negligible.
Yes.
Okay. Jeb, you see anything else in here that you want before we fuck off?
There's nothing really else up here, is there?
Nope. This does not look like where the necromancer stored all of his loot and treasure. This looks like where he was hanging out during a fight.
I look to Jeb, and then I look to Vaughn's body. Help me with this. And I sigh.
Absolutely.
I take his chainmail.
Yep.
I take his gold. I don't think he had any.
I was the one that carried all the
Okay, good.
wealth.
So
Yeah, take his chainmail.
chainmail is going to cost you, weigh you. Vaughn didn't have chainmail. He had studded leather armor.
I take
Joka.
Joka's chainmail.
Oh, Joka. Okay, here we go.
We had one set that they're taking.
And I look over to my other buddy and I say, "Can you wear his studded leather?"
I mean, I've got a set made for me in kneecap.
Yeah.
If you can fit in it right now, it'd be much useful because
Sure, yeah. And I'll take off the studded leather.
Let's see. Vaughn was 6'3", 200 pounds. Jebediah is 5'8", 160. So the studded leather is going to be a little bit awkward. I think it'll probably give you. I'll probably give it like a slight AC penalty, which will essentially make it regular leather armor for you.
Sure.
While you're wearing it. So you can call it Vaughn's studded leather armor, but it's loose on you and it kind of bangs about, and maybe like try and tighten it down here, but if it tightens there, it's too tight in the front, so it'll just be AC 3 for a bonus of 3 for you.
All right.
Well, he didn't have any leather, so that's a win.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's what, 25 pounds?
2.5, yeah. And
Can
you
you
added
also-
the 50 pounds of chain from Joka?
Yeah, can you carry the chain? Or no?
This is already getting heavy. We're gonna need a cart for all this.
I don't think we can get out with a cart, but I might be able to.
Oh, it was just a chain shirt. Okay, chain shirt, leather limbs. So 15 for the chain shirt.
That I could do
Yeah.
if needed.
Yeah, and the chain shirt is one of the wonderful things about chainmail is that it is one size fits all. I mean, as long as that you can fit inside of it, it's very versatile. It just hangs around you. So
Oh, that's better
anyone-
than my studded leather, then, right?
so the studded leather is a one suit piece.
Got it.
Because it's giving you like fractional AC. So if you take off the studded leather shirt, then there's no point in having the studded leather limbs. That's no better AC than just regular leather, and it's more weight. So
could I wear the studded leather limbs and the chainmail for
And the chain
an AC
shirt?
bonus? Yeah.
it would be AC. Fuck. The AC fuck.
So
hold on.
basically, if it's 4, just keep the studded leather.
Right, because the chain shirt will give you an AC bonus of 3, and then the leather limbs would give you an AC bonus of 1 for a total of 4, which is essentially the same thing as just the studded leather. So the chain shirt on its own with the studded leather limbs won't make a difference.
Got it.
That's why I've tried to avoid these in-between levels when we'd have a partial AC system.
So should we just leave this and I'll point to the chain?
Yeah, I mean, we'll be coming back here, right? We gotta.
This is our town now. I'm the sheriff here.
Yes, sir, Sheriff Ebner.
Not a very good sheriff. I let 2 of my people die so far, but Ebner sighs and all right. We just need to keep moving. We need to get out of here. We can come back, deal with the undead then. How do you figure we're gonna fancy on our way out?
I mean, we're literally up higher than everything else. We can easily see like where most of the undead are congregating, right?
I mean, they're sort of scattered around the tower, milling about the town. Some of them are pressed up against the walls. Some of them are just wandering through the streets. Let's see. Ebner's movement speed is 6. The zombies
Also
have...
6.
Ooh.
Because I'm medium encumbered.
Okay. So zombies have movement speed 6. So it'll be tough to navigate the town quickly without running into like a zombie around a corner from somewhere, because they're gonna have roughly the same movement speed as you. They'll be like the slow shambling thing, but long-legged.
Yeah.
What do you suggest?
Hmm.
You want to rest up here for the night, you think?
We might have to do that. I'm pretty wounded, and if we get in a fight, I'll go down real quick.
I think we both would, but I don't know if I feel comfortable resting here.
Well, none of them are coming up after us.
Guess not.
We could
Did they
just
just
camp out here on top of the tower, put some stuff on the door, and as long as we don't make any noise, I don't think they'll figure out we're here.
do they just look mindless, Neal? Like as I peer through the window?
They look as mindless as they did before.
Oh. Okay. All right.
All right.
I think that's what we got to do. We'll barricade the stairs as quietly as possible.
And sleep. You can pass the night away without any problem. The undead either don't notice you or don't care or some combination therein, and you can regain your spells.
Okay. Here they are.
And then are you going to invisibility to undead your way out of town?
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. And where are you going?
We're gonna go to High Mountain.
High Castle?
Yeah, I guess so.
Excellent.
Can I heal us?
Yeah.
Can you give me like 1 minute? I just need to make sure on my spell. Where the fuck is it?
Is Invista Undead a first level spell?
Yeah, I'm gonna take 2 Invisible Undead, and then I also want to take the one where we can just keep like going, like without having to stop. But I can't find it. Right now.
Unrelenting endurance, something like that.
Did you make level 5?
Yeah, unfailing endurance. Oh yeah. Hold on. There's another one. Dispel fatigue. Okay, I'm gonna take 2 invis to the undeads, 2 dispel fatigue, and 1 cure light wounds, and then 4 cure moderate wounds and a nap. And then I also have a level 5 spell, which I'm gonna do campsite. Or level 3 spell, create campsite.
Okay.
Okay, and then I'm gonna roll the shit right now. Here's my 2 cure moderate wounds for myself. 2d10 plus 2 plus 2. Does that make sense?
2d10 plus 2.
Yeah.
Yes.
13 for myself, so I'm gonna get up to 23. And then I'm gonna roll the same thing for you. 11.
Excellent.
And I'll roll you. Do you need more HP?
I'm at 1.5 out of 2.5.
Okay.
If you
here,
give me
28.
Yeah.
5 more.
Love it.
Okay.
I'll be good for a while.
So you guys can turn yourselves invisible, run out of town at your like jog. You'll get to the edge, and I think this time most of the undead are congregated in town. So what's the duration on this? Like 6 rounds?
For Invis of the Undead, it is 6 rounds. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can easily get out of town if you book it at full speed in 6 minutes, or at least outside of range of the melee zombies nearby, and make your way. Where are you going? You going to High Castle?
That's our goal. Well, we're gonna go to Confluence first.
Right.
And then we're gonna go to High Castle.
Okay.
I want to parlay with the Baroness.
And unfailing endurance allows you to.
Basically, once we get fatigued from like running too quickly, I can just cast it and then we'll be unfatigued.
Okay, it's not unfailing endurance. What is it called? It's called
Dispel fatigue. Sorry.
There we go.
Oh,
Dispel.
put it in the chat.
Thank you. Removes physical fatigue or exhaustion, and you have 2 of these.
Yep. So I'm just gonna run as long as we can, and then get fatigue, and then I'll dispel fatigue, and we'll just go to normal pace.
Excellent. All right, so you guys can run, get exhausted, dispel fatigue, and then run/jog until you get exhausted and walk the rest of the way. And I think with both of you at dispel fatigue, you could normally go 12 miles in a day, but we're essentially doubling your movement rate, so you can get 24 miles today through nice flat ground. Which
With both of us at.
We can only go 6, so we're gonna get 12, right?
Well.
no, normally you go twice your movement rate in miles.
Got it.
Yeah, so you'll go
that's fine.
24. Did you want to take the upper or the lower bridge to Confluence? One closer to you or the one way at the bottom?
Which one did we take before?
We crossed at Confluence.
Yeah, you took the lower and came up by the river.
We'll take the lower since we already know I already know the way.
All right. So the first day will get you to about there.
I'll create the campsite.
All right. You create campsite, and then the next day you will arrive in Confluence.
Do you want me to use spells?
Ebna, I swear
Of course.
that new spell you got there is truly amazing. I don't think we've ever had sleep that nice since arriving in this forsaken country.
No, the food's a little bland though, but
A little bland, but there was enough of it.
that there was. Shame about our friends, but
Indeed.
what are you gonna do?
It's a cruel world we live in, but their sacrifice, Callum's sacrifice, we can really find a good life for our friends back home. Yeah. And then the cleanup detail is going to be pretty tough too.
The next day, you will head into Confluence. Still no encounters. You will pass the bridge where there's going to be a knight with a pair of guards or a quad of guards who sees you coming down the road. They'll note your gear. They'll give you a slow nod and maybe a little bit of room because your clothes are torn and bloodstained. Even if you've been magically healed so your flesh is fine, you've still got like signs of recent battle, and you're carrying all of this extra loot and you're weighed down. When you know the knight gives you a questioning look, doesn't stop you, but takes kind of careful consideration of you.
I think we talked to this knight before on our way
Perhaps.
there.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
We talked with one of them.
Drake? Was that his name?
Something like that.
That was a person you spoke to.
I don't know if it's this guy. Can I
Yeah.
recognize the face?
Give me a charisma check.
Boo.
Nailed it.
Nice.
Yeah, no. Keldrake was the guy at the northern bridge, I
got it.
believe. So this is some other knight. You don't recognize this one.
Give him a wink.
He just takes a careful consideration. You get the impression that he is trying to decide if you are grave
Friend or foe.
robbers or not. Or, you know, like the people who show up at battlefields and steal the dead, the loot of the dead, and then go and sell it. Because that's a thing that happens. But, like, you know, whatever. But the knight lets you pass.
Okay.
You arrive in Confluence.
I want to go to the sheriff.
Yeah, I'll go with him this time.
Do I see
Okay.
any beggars on the way? Like any blind beggars?
Blind beggars?
Do I see any blind, Koibu?
You find no blind people, unfortunately.
Okay. That's fine.
Okay.
Any,
And you can make it into the small, little, cozy town of Confluence on this gentle, rainy day. People are inside, but not, you know, just inside to get out of the slight drizzle of rain. You can hear the laughter of, you know, regular folk, the fires burning. You can smell the chicken dumpling stew coming out of the taverns, and the sound of cocktails being poured. You can pass some kids playing in mud puddles with a dog. When you find your way to the sheriff's station, it looks like the sheriff is feeding a fire right now, kind of hunched over it, while you guys come to the door and make your presence known.
bang on it, Koibu. An angry bang.
Sheriff looks up, sees you.
Did she open the door?
The door's open already.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was banging on, but
You know, if the door's open, you still might want to announce your presence to someone. That's fine.
it's true.
She takes a look at you.
Dealt
Yes?
with your necromancer.
You did.
Meadstead's clear. Still some
Splendid.
undead, but I handled the necromancer, and I just wanted to give you a fair warning that I'm gonna be moving in there.
What do you mean?
I'm gonna be creating a temple in Meadstead.
I'm sure the people of Meadstead would be happy. Are there any survivors?
Why don't you go check out for yourself? You didn't want to go now. Why am I gonna tell you? It's my town.
She gives you a perplexed look. Okay,
Just letting you know.
that's none of my business. You can go ahead and try and claim it for yourself. I'm sure the rightful owners will have something to say about it, but that's, again, none of my business.
Who would the rightful owners be?
You'd have to talk to someone in High Castle that knows better. I'm just the sheriff of Confluence here, and, you know, there was someone in charge of the town. I don't know if they're alive or dead, but it would rightfully pass to their heir if they're dead. So,
All right. You got a weird question. You got a wizard here?
yeah,
Can I speak with him or her?
you gotta talk to the Baroness. That's none of my business.
Could I get an audience with them to report what happened in Meadstead? I feel like they would like to know.
Are you looking to speak with the Baroness to report your good deeds? Which will surely flow to her whether or not you speak to her, or are you specifically looking to talk to the wizard?
Looking to talk to both, but Tempos commanded me to speak with the Baroness.
Tempos commanded you, huh? Well, I suppose you could just go knock on the Baroness's door, and if the gods have deemed that to be true, then I'm sure you'll get an audience with her. It's not like Tempos would ever fill a cleric's head with false lies. Falsehoods.
I think not. True.
It's not like a cleric would ever speak falsely about the word of their god either.
Nope.
Well then, I'm sure you'll have no trouble getting it on your own.
All right. I go up to the Baroness's door.
Right, you can make your way to the keep in town. Let me open up my notes on confluence.
Before we get there, Mr. Ebner, we still do have a favor from Mr. Fizzib back in Tassel.
He's pretty far away,
This is true.
but we could
But,
always go back, yeah.
And we've got to go there anyway. It'd look a little weird if boats went from High Castle over to Mystria, wouldn't it?
It would. I agree. Just let me report my good deeds to the Baroness. Let her know if she wants her people moving in there and whatnot.
I think we've been using the wrong gender here. It's a Baron. Baron Greyfair?
Baron.
Yeah, my mistake. I started saying Baroness, I think. Or someone did. I don't know. I do believe it is a dude. And I don't think you talked to her, the dude,
Nope.
before, right?
No,
I have
we
never
did not
talked
talk
to the dude.
Right,
The only
all
one
right.
we talked to was the sheriff.
I think it is a Baron Greyfair. Eridon, confluence, population. Yeah, there we go.
Population, yes.
Cool. You can make your way to the building. And how would you like to tell the... So you can talk to the guards who can get you your cleric. You would say you want to talk to this person.
Yeah.
So they'll bring you to the gatekeeper, who functions as sort of like the person who lets people into the final realm of the keep, and also the sort of chancellor who decides who gets an audience with the Baron and who doesn't. So you find yourself talking to... Let's roll a die here. To... Oh god, I'm so bad at coming up with names.
Is it a guy or girl?
It's a dude. Kel
Johnson?
Kel Johnson.
Kel Johnson it is.
Good
Benson
evening.
Peter Johnson.
Good evening, Kel Johnson. I am Ebner, cleric of Tempos, and I wanted to come to report to the local Lord of Confluence what me and my compatriot here did in Meadstead. Wanted to give him an update, let him know.
What'd you do in Meadstead? Says the young man. Youngish man.
We cleared it out of the necromancer, and I wanted to give him a status update on what's left there and what happened to the people.
What happened to them? He says, pressing for details.
Well, hate to say it, but they all seem to have perished. All turned into zombies. We killed hundreds of them.
This seems worthy of his attention, and he will lead you into the keep and get you an audience with the Baron. You'll have to wait a while because the Baron's busy with shit, but
It's fine.
that late afternoon, early evening, you guys will be served supper ahead of time. You can be brought into a small room with the Baron, the gatekeeper, the sheriff isn't here, but the captain of the guard is here, as well as the Baron's cleric and wizard advisors. So you were in a room with a bunch of people and some guards.
Cleric of
And,
what?
Cleric of... Where's my randomizer?
Be one of my brothers.
Cleric of Seor, the god of crafting.
Ooh, that could be a useful cleric to know. And the Baron's name was
Baron Greyfair.
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 Mm-hmm.
I do the usual greetings of a Baron.
Mm-hmm.
Greet him in the normal way. My lord, I've come to report to you what happened in Meadstead. Me and three others set out with our goal to make High Castle and Confluence a safer place. I had heard, I think, reports that the necromancer was preparing to attack. And when we got there, the whole town was turned into undead. We were able to kill the necromancer, as you see, and I will show them my my spear.
I'll
The
show him
spear made of
potion.
bones.
Yeah.
And the potions.
Yeah. Take out the potion and then take off the cloak.
Two of my allies, rest their souls, did perish in the fight, but I thought it would be important to you to know that those two, Vaughn and Joka, were their names, and they gave all they could to protect Confluence and High Castle from the demon threat.
Demon threat?
Sorry, I misspoke. The undead threat.
Right, the undead, yes. So the people of Meadstead are dead.
Every single one of them turned. There's still some undead skeletons and zombies roaming the streets, but every single woman, child, and dog turned.
God. And the necromancer's dead.
He is no more. Smited by the power of Tempos himself. Praise.
The cleric nods approvingly. Yes, of course. The wizard gives like a quick eye roll, recognizing that there were more people involved with this than just a cleric, and not wanting to, acknowledge all of your fine.
My lord,
go ahead. No, go for it.
Oh, I was gonna say, my lord, I do have something to ask of you and maybe your wizard. We did pick up these items off of the necromancer after we killed him, and I was wondering if we could get the favor of knowing exactly what they do. If he could identify them for us.
The wizard steps forward and asks to hold your weapons and take a look at them.
I will hand over my spear and the ring, and I will motion for if Jeb would like to hand over his cloak.
Yeah, I'll hand over the cloak.
Excellent. You hand these things over. The wizard will take a look at them and tell you that he can identify...
Oh, and the potion if possible.
Yeah.
Right. Potion? This is very... You got a yellow potion, was it?
Yeah.
Yes, this is a potion of grease, I believe. It's a common one. Spill it out over an area, and it will make it quite slippery for a long period of time. The greater area you spread it over, the shorter the duration. This is a magical grease. Anyone stepping upon it will be unable to maintain their balance. It reduces the friction coefficient to near to zero, but not all the way to zero. That would be impossible.
Madness.
Madness would take over the world if you could get it to zero itself.
What about -1?
Ludicrous, it has no meaning.
Doesn't, but apparently you can do it in, what was it, Grand Theft Auto 4?
Really? Do you speed up as you slip then?
It's hilarious. I haven't experienced it myself, but I've seen videos and it's fucking hilarious.
Nice. As for this, the wizard taps the spear and looks at the Baron with pleading eyes. And the Baron gives him the 60, 70-year-old Baron gives him a cold stare. And the wizard says, I know off the top of my head. I would love to be able to examine it myself, but to be fair, there is another who would have more to know about it. The Archmage in High Castle is one who has studied a great many things and has an ear and a nose for history. they may be able to decipher what this is.
Do you know the Archmage?
By reputation only.
So you couldn't reach out to him and ask him for a favor or anything? Or send him a tell maybe that we're coming or something? I don't know how you wizards do. You guys are so smart that I know you guys can communicate.
The Baron Greyfair steps up or stands up and says, I can write you a letter of introduction.
I bow and say, oh, thank you, my lord. That is mighty kind of you.
I'll look at him, see that he's bowing, and do a really awkward bow.
But do understand that should you lie, and if this letter comes from a place of deceit, you shall be in grave trouble. Since I have not looked into these events myself, I am taking your word upon it. And if your word is false, you may find yourself in a regrettable position.
If my word is false about us killing the necromancer and what happened in Meadstead, then may Tempo smite me.
This seems to satisfy everyone at the area, and a letter will be quickly penned with you, as a, introducing you to the Wizard of High Castle, the Archmage of High Castle.
Also, my lord, I don't know if you have any interest, or I don't know about your noble affairs, but Meadstead is open for whichever nobleman is heir of it, but as I see that no one lived through Meadstead, I may be speaking out of turn, but it is open for anyone who wanted to take it, and if you wanted to move your soldiers there, maybe you could clear out the rest of the undead and take it for yourself.
There comes a bunch of rabble-rousing at this, where the attendants turn to discuss to one another the significance of this, and the Baron kind of taps his hand on the table, getting the guards and the knights and the cleric and the wizard to settle down, and says, Now, these people have all died. Let us not immediately turn to how best to exploit the situation for personal gain. At some point, we will have to clear out the remaining dead before anything can come of this, and I do believe that effort will be the deciding factor in how these things progress. Not to mention, the great King of High Castle will want to say in what to do with this reclaimed land.
I was on the way to inform them, but I thought that I should stop by your excellence first. And well, I don't know.
I appreciate you telling us of these events. It will give us some measure of security that we are no longer threatened upon that front.
Thank you.
Good day.
Did the wizard know anything about the jacket or
the cloak?
The cloak, yeah.
Ooh, that's a great question. Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
So if he could write a letter about us going to check them both out, that'd be awesome.
Yes, you get an introduction to the Wizard of High Castle from Baron Greyfair.
Do I get a letter in my hand that I get to come and show it to the wizard, or is he sending it over?
No, it is a physical letter that is going to be signed and sealed by the Baron.
Me. And I give it to them?
You have it, yeah. And
Got it.
You can read it, because you can read Eridonian, and it says, the bearer of this letter, and then your name, your full titles and ranks and names and honors and everything, has slain the necromancer of Meadstead, ridded it from its pure evil roots, and reported back saying that the people within it are dead. They lost 2 companions upon the route and have acquired these items as proof of their actions. On behalf of, for the gratitude of the people of Confluence and as redemption for the people of Meadstead, I will hope that this letter will serve as an introduction to the Wizard of High Castle for purposes of conversation, negotiation, and it is my hope that the wizard will give every effort in order to help identify the items taken from the necromancer, both for the purposes of better understanding the necromancer and as a reward for these fine people. And then there's some more mumbo jumbo about what's going on, and
it keeps going on.
Yeah. And there's all these conditions and clauses about this is for this and this, and it's messy and long and
My lord, since we're heading over to High Castle now, you probably have another messenger. You don't need us to deliver anything explaining about what happened in Meadstead, correct? You'll have someone else pass that on? Or?
We will look into this matter ourselves before we send any further word on. If you are headed that direction, I assume you can function as the first news.
You want me
the
to...
first messenger.
Oh boy, rumors.
I assume if you show this to the wizard, I assume word will travel quickly to everyone else.
I asked one more thing. If any way that when you guys clear it out, our friends' bodies are in the top of the castle, if your men could give them a proper burial, that'd be...
We will bury all the corpses with dignity, and those of the heroes with extra ceremonies.
Thank you, Baron. You are truly as great as I have heard.
The old man nods. Right. Is there anything else? It's 5 o'clock. It's time for me to go to bed.
We bustle on out.
Right. You guys can bustle out.
Had you really heard of him before, Ebner? I say on the way out.
No. You just tell these great noblemen what they can, get butter them up a little bit. Like,
I see. That's very smart. Very smart.
On our way out, I keep a lookout for a blind or a deaf person, Koibu.
A blind or a deaf person. Nope, no blind or deaf people. Sorry.
That's not
and
good.
you can make your way. I guess you'll spend one more night here in Confluence. They will put you up for the night here in the castle, in the keep, since you've done such great things.
Tell you.
They won't make you pay for a room. Yeah, you'll get like a temporary guest room here. This won't be accessible to you in the future, but
It's literally the nicest place I've ever slept.
this is true, actually, yeah. You each get separate rooms that you get all to yourself. There are feather beds instead of straw beds. There are comforters. There are pitchers of water brought to you. You've got windows that look out in a small private balcony. There's drapes to help seal the heat in around the bed because, it gets cold in these drafty castles. And you get awoken by a little basket of bread and fruit and cheese and beer being left at your door in the morning.
Shit.
Jib probably cries like a little bit. It's like, one, it's such, like, this sort of gratuity is incredibly foreign to him. It's just nuts, but also like what it costs, like lives of his two friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a little bit of comfort, a little taste of the good life, only after your friends have died.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, fuck them.
All right. I do believe it is time to set out the next day and go from Confluence to High Castle, which you can do. You'll probably have to do 2 unfailing endurances to get there because it's about a 20-mile hike.
I can add, I'll just do 4 unveiling endurances.
Before we go,
dispel fatigues. Sorry.
Yep.
Unfailing endurance is like a 4th level spell. I keep getting them confused.
Neal, is there a blacksmith in town?
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to sell the kobold breastplate for materials.
You want to sell them the kobold breastplate?
Yes, just like for materials, because I understand that realistically,
that'll never be sized for anyone. Yeah.
Yeah.
How much does it weigh?
10 pounds.
10 pounds. Okay. So, so you can get minimum 500 copper for it because it's worth 500 copper, or it takes 500 copper to make this breastplate. If he's just gonna melt it down, you can get the raw cost. If he has any other use for it, he can use it in another way. This is an interesting piece of work that you hand him.
It's like a curiosity, right?
Right. It's a little bit of an odd thing, but if he doesn't have another use for it, if it's just going to be melted down for scrap, then he'll only pay you scrap prices. Let's give him an intelligence check to see if he can find a way to use this or get some extra value out of it. His intelligence is maybe not the greatest. He's a peasant. He's got 8 int. He's fine. It's lower end of average. But he's a fucking clever peasant, and he will definitely give you 10 10 pieces of gold for it. He'll just drop 10 gold coins into your hand.
Cool.
Yeah, and he'll take the armor and look at it with curiosity, and you can see the gears turning in your head, and as you walk away, he's not even listening to your words of thanks or whatever.
Yep. All right, that's good. That's another 10 pounds off the character sheet.
Excellent. And then you added your 10 gold.
Got to figure out how to cut some other ways.
I changed cure blindness or deafness to cure disease, by the way.
Sure. Okay. And the party heads to Confluence. Not to Confluence. High Castle. You will arrive late in the... What do we call it? Not in the morning. Late in the afternoon in Confluence. High Castle. God, I keep getting these places all mixed up. Terrible at this. You can arrive in High Castle late in the afternoon.
Damn, I have 11 pounds of arrows.
Wow.
You will not be able to seek out the wizard or anyone else today because it's already so late. So you will find yourself at a tavern in High Castle called... Do we have High Castle tavern names? I think I do. Here we go. Here's my High Castle document. You can find the Dog Pile. That is one of the cheaper inns in town. It'll just cost you a few copper to stay here tonight. Or you can go to maybe like a nicer place if you want. But this one will be a few copper for the night. The nicer place will be a few silver.
Well, since we've had the finer things, Koibu, do you think we can go to the castle, present our letter? Obviously, we can't meet with them tonight, but do you think they'll store us for the night up there?
You can do it. You can head to the castle and try and present your letter, and the guard on duty would be like, well, that's nice, but castle's closed for the night.
That's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll go to the dog pile.
All right. You guys end up in the Dog Pile. You will walk into this inn. It has a large common room with lots of pillows and blankets, and it's the sort of place where everyone just sort of piles into one big room, and there's no actual beds. There's just like soft materials that you throw on yourself. And there's also a little divider or a partition, and on the other side of that is maybe the place where you could eat breakfast and have some meals provided to you. And it is here. It is going to be 5 copper for both of you to stay here for the night, getting really meager meals, just some porridge. And it is in this common room you can find a halfling bard who is trying to keep the spirits of the dog pile up. And you can also find a sort of broken down looking fighter sitting near the bard, listening to it while everyone else is kind of off doing their own thing.
So I think the bard's just sitting in a little corner, singing some songs to himself, singing about how great Verasi is over here in the corner, just trying to keep my paladin spirits up if he's feeling down. How, you need the vengeance on the undead. It's your own fault.
You singing about Verasi?
Yeah. That's what we're singing about.
Goddess of Death.
Or is it Verasi or Velthar? I'm sorry, Velthar.
Goddess of Vengeance. Okay.
Vengeance, I'm sorry. Vengeance, not Velthar. My bad. Just singing, just going away about it. How the undead need to have vengeance wrought upon them.
Mm-hmm.
I poke Jeb. Velthar is a mighty just god.
A mighty what?
Just god. Get it? He's about justice. Abner laughs. Oh, shit. Get those mixed up. All right, well.
Exact opposite.
Yep.
It's just like, about justice. I'm just sitting there like...
Jeb, you sure do know a lot about gods. Oh, my.
I don't know. Everything you've been saying, I'm surprised you forgot. You doing all right, Edna?
Just haven't slept very well since our 2 friends died.
I understand.
Let's go talk to these 2 funny-looking fellows. I've never seen a halfling before.
You grew up in a town with a bunch of halflings in it.
Mr.
Never seen a halfling that ugly before.
There we go.
Okay, that makes more sense. I was gonna say you speak halfling. I've heard you do it before.
Yeah, that's true.
On your way over there, you realize the halfling's like doing handstands on his chair right now, doing different tumbling things. He's getting bored of singing.
How pretty is your halfling?
He's above average. His face doesn't like, you look at him and go, oh, he's not bad. And then you kind of notice he's got a little green hat with like some green and red stitching going around the outside. You can't quite see what it is. He's got a real nice tunic on with the same green and red
Real
stitching.
fancy hat.
Yeah. He's got some
As you
brown
guys are
pants.
walking, as you
Good.
guys are
He's
walking
decent looking.
over,
His clothes are more attractive than him, I would say. But he's above average.
as you guys are
Tom? About
walking
average.
over, as you guys are walking over, the Chives is doing handstands and stuff, and he's trying to cheer me up, and I'm just sort of being like, Chives, I appreciate you trying to help me, but I'm not feeling it today.
Chives will look all downtrodden and slowly pluck his way over to the bar, looking at the floor.
As Chives goes to the bar, I poke him. I can see that the what armor is the man wearing?
Leather.
AKA Tom.
Oh, me?
leather?
I'm just in leather armor. Yeah, I'm in normal leather armor. I'm not looking like anybody special. I'm really trying to avoid people's attention as much as humanly possible. And I'm just pretty down on myself right now, yeah.
I'll poke the little halfling. What's up with
Look
that
back
fella?
questioningly. I'm sorry.
Why is he looking so distraught, so down?
Well, you seem well. You've got your. Do you have your shield out? To kind of see your tempest thing anywhere?
It'd be on my back.
Be on your back. Well, I don't know if you're a godly man or not, but he is one of the best with the gods. Well, he was. We got a little sidetracked. We're getting back on it though. We're getting back up on the horse. We're moving on. It's gonna be okay.
Which god? Not
Well,
Hirasi.
that's kind of. Well, listen, we're kind of in between that right now. That's what we're working through. We were very good and just, but some things came up, and really, just vengeance is much better. Let me just tell you about it.
Oh, so you're telling me he needs a god, eh?
Well, he doesn't. He's kind of got one. We're kind of good on that. We're in a good line. We're in a good rut. But the problem is, there's not all laws are just. Like, look over there at that Mysteria place, right? Like that Scoria. Just because you're following the just laws doesn't mean you're doing the right thing. Sometimes you need some vengeance in your life. It's just how it goes. He's kind of shrug and.
Like a very angry halfling.
No, he's pretty upbeat about it. He goes, look.
Yeah, he's angry for a halfling.
I cut in a little bit here with Chives, and I go, excuse, you have to excuse my friend. He is very talkative. But, what is your name, cleric?
My name's Ebner, cleric Tempos, and heard you need a god. I'm recruiting.
Tempos, huh? Interesting.
Yep, the best god in the all gods are good, but not everybody is created equal. Some are better.
And Chops, look up. That is true. But when you can hear from the word of God himself and point over at the paladin, it really helps figure out what they want.
Oh, you speak to God, eh? Which god spoke to you?
Well, hold on here. We talked about this. We're in between things right now. Calm down.
Well,
What my
happened?
friend means to say is that I have lost my way. I do not wish to mention the specifics of what brought me here, but
Well, that's all right.
I don't know if Tempos is the way, but the Tempos is, I believe, the father of the god I used to serve. So, perhaps if I follow you, perhaps I may find my way.
Well, we did just lose our muscle and our.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy to be your muscle.
I look at the halfling.
He's got 8 strength. He's tiny.
Big talk, small man.
Hmm.
Used to it, I guess.
Well, I can be taller than you. And I'll jump up on top of a chair.
He is very tall in other ways, perhaps.
Like his dick.
That
The
isn't
halfling
quite what I
chuckles,
meant.
then goes over to the bar. This is perfect. We're going to leave the mystery at that one. Go get a
All
couple
right.
drinks.
And with
I'll
that,
get
why don't we
4.
go to our first break?
Perfect.
We'll see you guys on the other side with a little bit more desperate measures. Bye-bye.